go with no filter.
That's right.
I really fear that day. Hopefully, we never even see it.
Hopefully, or maybe we'll hear it in the music.
Yeah, you know what? That's good. I could alchemize those emotions and put it into the music.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's so many ways to view that because yes, you can get those emotions off your chest, but there's also a theory that if somebody can make you react and crash out, that they have power over you.
When Wei finally decided to speak up, the internet went wild. Everyone was holding their breath, waiting to hear what she'd say next. After Cardi B's fiery sit-down with Kelly Rowland hit the web, where Cardi dropped the bomb that some female rappers she once supported had gone behind her back and slept with her husband, Offset, social media exploded instantly. One name in particular had everyone's attention. And that name? Saweetie. Fans weren't just making stuff up, like they remembered those juicy 2021 rumors linking Saweetie to Offset right after her chaotic breakup with Quavo. Cardi didn't name drop anyone this time, but she didn't even have to. The internet did the detective work for her, and before long, Saweetie's name was trending like wildfire. People were throwing out theories, screenshots, and old clips trying to piece everything together. So how did Saweetie clap back? Not with crying, not with yelling, and definitely not with messy drama. Instead, she stayed true to her icy girl vibe. Cool, composed, and unbothered. Through a clever caption here, a subtle shade there, and that signature confidence on social media, her message was loud and clear. Don't pull me into your marriage mess. It was slick, bold, and pure boss energy. She wasn't about to take the fall for Offset's choices, and she made sure everyone knew it. That icy calm from Saweetie split the internet right down the middle. To her fans, it was pure queen energy. They said she didn't owe Cardi or the blogs a single word. She owed herself peace, and that's exactly what she chose. People were cheering her on for staying cool under pressure, refusing to let Cardi's emotional words mess up her crown, but not everyone saw it that way. Cardi's supporters thought that silence wasn't classy. It was suspicious. They wanted Saweetie to come out and say it straight up. I never touched that man. But instead, she just brushed it off with that trademark chill, and that tiny shrug sent the internet into overdrive. Some saw confidence, others saw guilt, and suddenly, every post she made got dissected like a clue. Meanwhile, Cardi's side of things came drenched in emotion. In her interview, she spoke about how she had gone out of her way to lift up younger female rappers, sliding into their DMs when they were getting dragged, sending them love and encouragement, reminding them the hate never lasts. But then finding out some of those same women were sneaking around with Offset, that cut deep. To Cardi, that wasn't just cheating, it was straight-up betrayal, both as a wife and as a woman in the game. Let's be real. Cardi B didn't just come for Saweetie out of the blue. The timing, way too convenient.
Very thing, because I don't know what the album, just like a lot of people that don't like me underestimating this album, a lot of these artists are also underestimated this album too. I have gotten into calls, I have gotten out of my body because I'm very shy. I have hit people up, I have this and that, and people underestimating the impact.
Cardi's got an album about to drop called Am I the Drama? And the rollout's been messy since day one. So yeah, it's starting to look like she's stirring the pot on purpose, because when your project's buzz is shaky, drama becomes the best kind of free promo. Think about it. Cardi's debut, Invasion of Privacy, wasn't just big. It was a cultural earthquake. Diamond-certified singles, Grammys, and songs still topping charts years later. That album set a bar so high, people still talk about it like a masterpiece. So when fans heard her second album was finally coming, expectations went through the roof. But behind the scenes, it wasn't all glitz and glam. For months, Cardi was open about her struggles. She couldn't lock in the features she wanted. She even hopped on X, Twitter's new name, venting that artists were dragging their feet on her tracks. Some even backed out completely, saying they didn't think her new music would hit like that. Ouch! That's a tough pill to swallow for someone who once ruled the charts nonstop. Eventually, she pulled together a solid lineup. Cash Cobain, Janet Jackson, Connie, Lizzo, Megan Thee Stallion, Selena Gomez, Summer Walker, Talia. Definitely a respectable list. But fans were expecting a superstar overload wall to wall. Instead, the whispers started growing.
Well, a lot of people have changed their mind these past couple of weeks. If people underestimated the impact and everything, I can't do nothing about it. One thing I don't do is I'm not gonna beg nobody. So for y'all to be complaining and these are a lot of these artists that have gotten in it on this album, I'm very thankful, I'm very grateful, because you'll be very surprise.
Was this album about to flop? And just when that chatter got loud enough to drown everything else out, boom, Cardi hits Spotify with Kelly Rowland and drops a bomb about betrayal. She starts spilling about how she used to support younger female rappers, sliding into their DMs to uplift them, only to find out some of those same women were allegedly sneaking around with Offset. Cardi never actually said Saweetie's name, but she didn't have to. The streets already knew who she was hinting at. That's the power of clout, and Cardi knows exactly how to play that game. She's been in this industry long enough to understand one major rule.
And usually I will send people to ask, but even me have asked and everything. But one thing I don't do, I don't beg, baby. So a lot of y'all are y'all just doing too much, and it's just like calm the down. Like it's already enough. Like it's already enough. Like for real, calm the down. If y'all wanted these artists on the fucking album, well, maybe y'all should have called them. Because I did. And if y'all wanted them so bad, y'all should have called them. Because I call them and everything. I can control people and everything. I let people underestimate.
Drama sells, sometimes even better than music. And whether this whole thing was a planned PR stunt or just pure emotion, the effect hit the same way. People stopped asking, is Cardi's new album about to flop? And started asking, wait, who betrayed Cardi? Series locked and loaded. So for anyone still lost in the chaos, let's rewind to where it all really started. With Offset, his record with women has been loud and public since day one. Ever since he married Cardi back in 2018, the man's been surrounded by scandals. First, there was the whole Summer Bunny situation. She went on camera crying about sleeping with a married man. Then came the DMs to Jade, 6ix9ine's girlfriend, which turned into that wild strip club case that ended up pulling Cardi herself into court. And that's not even half of it. The gossip blogs have been eating off Offset's name for years. Random DMs, leaked screenshots, and anonymous sources seem to pop up every other month. At this point, Offset's reputation speaks for itself, and it's definitely not one built on loyalty. So when new cheating rumors hit the timeline, the streets don't even blink. They believe it instantly. But why did Saweetie get pulled into the mess this time? Well, her name first got tangled with Offset's back in 2021, right after her breakup with Quavo. Their split was already chaos. The icy tweets, the shade, and let's not forget that elevator video that had everyone talking for weeks. Then came the whispers. People claiming Saweetie and Offset had a secret fling, which supposedly sparked tension inside Migos itself. Saweetie denied everything, loud and clear, but once a rumor like that sticks, it's almost impossible to shake off.
Because I have done that too, that done went and my man and all that shit. So it's like, you gotta know who you being nice to, because it's like these.
Every single time Offset's name pops up in another cheating headline, Saweetie's name gets dragged right back into the mix like clockwork. It's like the internet just refuses to let it die. And when it comes to Cardi and Saweetie's own dynamic, on paper, they've always looked polite. Smiling at events, saying kind words in interviews, all that surface-level industry friendliness. But insiders have whispered for years that the energy between them was never genuine. Cardi always kept her distance, never moving like she fully trusted Saweetie. And Saweetie, she never acted like she was dying to be Cardi's sister in the game either. Their vibe was lukewarm, polite but cold, all smiles, no sisterhood. So when Cardi dropped that bomb about trying to help female rappers who ended up betraying her, people didn't have to stretch too far to connect the dots. The internet already had the story half written in their heads. Offset, the repeat offender. Saweetie, the icy girl still shadowed by those old Migos rumors. Cardi, the woman who's lived through public cheating scandals before. Put all that together and suddenly her new confession didn't sound random at all. It sounded like proof. So when Saweetie finally hit back with that cool, detached tone, calm, collected, and unbothered, it didn't kill the gossip one bit. If anything, it made it worse. The streets started digging up old receipts, rewatching clips, reposting old tweets, and whispering, see? We knew something was off. Because when it comes to celebrity drama, the internet never forgets. And history always keeps the screenshots. What makes this whole situation even stickier is how familiar it feels. We've seen this same triangle play out over and over again. Same shape, just different names every time. Think back to Beyonce, Jay-Z, and that infamous Becky with the good hairline. Beyonce never said a name, but that one lyric turned into a worldwide guessing game. The power wasn't in confirmation, it was in the suggestion. That's what made it legendary. Cardi's move feels almost identical. She didn't have to say Saweetie's name, she just dropped enough breadcrumbs for the world to do the math. And just like that, social media detectives clocked in fast, piecing everything together like they were solving a case. The energy? Pure déjà vu. Or take Khloe Kardashian, Jordan Woods, and Tristan Thompson. Another classic. Jordan was practically family. Then came that infamous kiss, and overnight, she was branded a traitor. Fans split in half, timelines went crazy, and once again, the man in the middle walked away with way less heat. Tristan got labeled reckless, but Jordan, she was the one dragged, shamed, and exiled from the crew. Sound familiar? Offset's playing that same role here. Reckless, messy, but somehow not the one carrying the scarlet letter. The blame shifts like it always does, landing right on the woman's shoulders. This time, it's caught in the crossfire. Even in hip-hop, the pattern doesn't change. Women get pitted against each other, while the men fade quietly into the background. That's just what Offset does. Chaos follows him like a shadow. But let's play devil's advocate for a second. What if this whole thing isn't even about Saweetie at all? Offset's got enough scandals stacked up that Cardi could have been talking about literally anyone, another rapper, some influencer, or maybe even someone the public doesn't know about. And the wild part? Cardi knows exactly what she's doing. By dropping clues without naming names, she guarantees maximum drama with minimum accountability. It's smart. She gets all the clout, all the headlines, and doesn't have to show a single receipt. No proof, no problem. Just pure speculation doing all the heavy lifting for her. But this kind of move doesn't stay confined to interviews or tweets. It changes how everyone involved has to move from here on out. For Cardi, the question now is, will this gamble pay off? She took a personal betrayal and turned it into publicity fuel. All eyes are locked on her album, Am I the Drama? And whether it's going to explode or fall flat. If it dominates the charts and gets critical love, people will call her a genius. They'll say she took her pain, flipped it into power, and came out stronger than ever. But if it flops, then it's a different story. Folks will drag her for using gossip as a crutch when the music couldn't carry the weight. Because this release isn't just about tracks, it's a statement. It's Cardi proving she can still shake the table without needing names to trend. But here's the real risk, longevity. If Saweetie doesn't redirect the convo back to her music or pull off a bold career move soon, that Offset rumor could haunt her way longer than she wants. Her whole icy girl legacy shines brightest when she's in control of the narrative, not when she's stuck defending herself against somebody else's messy marriage. Her cool works best when it's power, not damage control. And Offset? Phew, this man didn't even open his mouth this time, yet somehow still ended up smack in the middle of chaos again? Another scandal, another dent in a brand that's already been through too many hits. At this point, his music and fashion should be what define him, not the drama. But the public doesn't see it that way anymore. He's become the punchline, the guy who keeps showing up in other people's scandals instead of his own success. If he doesn't make a serious shift soon, through music or actions that show real growth, he risks fading from Migos legend to just a meme in everyone else's storyline. And for the culture, this whole saga is a reminder that in rap, sisterhood can be fragile, sometimes even an illusion. Every time women in the game try to build real solidarity, something, whether it's industry politics, messy men, or ancient rumors, finds a way to wedge itself right in between them. Cardi wanted to be the big sister, the protector, the mentor. But this whole storm shows how fast that kind of role can fall apart when emotions and ego mix in public. At this point, it's not even just about betrayal, like it's about survival, the wildest part. Cardi named her album Am I the Drama? But after this rollout, she doesn't even have to ask. Whether you see her as the victim, the strategist, or the instigator, she's proven one thing for sure. She knows exactly how to keep that spotlight shining on her. So what do you think? Calculated or chaotic? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, share this video with your crew, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the wildest moments in hip-hop. See you in the next one.